so loud. Alright, well good afternoon everyone and welcome all to our 3 o'clock Hippo Keeper Connection. My name is Amy. I'm going to be doing the talking and training for you guys today. We do have another keeper by the name of Sid. He's actually the one upstairs feeding you guys his hippos. Now you will notice that the hippos are going to leave us for just a few minutes. They're going to go to the other windows. They're only going to get a couple handfuls over there, and then 3/4 of everything's going to happen over here. The reason why we have them move is so that way they can get some extra exercise, and also allows you guys to see how they actually move. Hippos actually do not swim. They actually kind of push and glide, basically walking along the river bottom. So that's basically how they're going to move. So it would be a good way for you to be able to see how they actually move when they do come over here. Now we have 2 Nile hippos. We have a male and female pair. Tumbo just turned 38 years old and Uma is still 37. They're basically almost the same age. Uma will be turning 38 in August. Now they have been here together for 36 years together. They both came here when they're under a year old. So they have been here together for almost their entire life together. Now like I said, we have a male and female pair. Our female's name is Uma and our male's name is Tumbo. Now they're very hard to tell apart by just their size because they basically look almost exactly the same and they almost weigh pretty close to the same amount. Now the easiest way to tell them apart is actually Tumbo has a much larger head. His head can weigh up to be about 1/2 a ton. Uma's is a little bit smaller, so that's the one way. Also, Uma has some scars by her eyes, makes it look like she has eyebrows. And lastly, when you see their mouth open, Tumbo's going to have much larger canine/tusks. His can get up to be about 18 inches long, and hers is only going to be about 4 to 5, maybe 6 inches. His continuously grow, and you'll see that here in just a minute. I'll tell you why his are the way his are. So in just a few minutes, they are going to make their way over here. It looks like they're being a little slow today. So can anybody tell me who our first hippo is that's coming? Anybody tell me? This one right here?
Uma.
That's right, that is Uma. That is our female. And right behind her is Tumbo. Now, if you look, they are pretty much almost the same size. Uma, she weighs 5,200 pounds, while Tumbo, our male, he weighs 5,500 pounds. Females will range anywhere from 3,000 to 5,000, and males will range anywhere from 5,000 to 8,000. Now, if you notice inside her mouth, you're going to look at those tusks. Hers are a little bit more jagged because we do not actually file hers. Out in the wild, they would be the same way because they aren't rubbing them as much as males are. Now, when Tumbo decides to lift up his head, you're going to notice his tusks are much larger. His are around 8 to 10 inches. We actually try to keep them around 8 to 10 inches. We don't let them continuously keep growing and get longer and longer and longer because potentially they would wear on the inside of his mouth and create sores. We don't want that, so we actually file them down. We ask him to hold over his mouth and we file them down. Doesn't hurt him in any way, it's just like filing down your own fingernails. On the wild, this would wear down by potentially the food that they eat, which I'll tell you here in just a minute, or also by fighting other males for land and for females. So they would wear them down by fighting other males, or they may potentially even break off. Now our hippos here get fed 3 times a day. Hippos are herbivores, so they only eat plant-based materials. They do not eat any type of meat. Now our hippos, like I said, get fed 3 times a day. Their first diet is at 7 o'clock in the morning, and that's when they get the bulk of their diet. They get about 75 to 100 pounds of coastal hay apiece. It takes them almost 3 hours to eat that. While they are in their barn in the morning eating their breakfast, we are actually out here on the land, cleaning the land, in a boat, cleaning the windows, and also scooping up any hippo feces that's on the bottom of the exhibit. Now, and then at 3 o'clock they get their second feeding, which you're seeing dropping in the mouth is called herbivore pellets. Basically what that is their extra vitamins and minerals because coastal hay is not fresh green grass, so it's going to lose a little bit of its nutrients as the time wears on. So this is how we replace some of their vitamins and minerals. They each get a scoop of that, and then you'll also see them getting some apples or some fruits and vegetables. That is extra treats for doing training sessions and for coming up here when we ask them to. And then their last feeding is around 5, 6 o'clock where they get a couple more flakes of coastal hay. So basically all they eat is hay. Out in the wild, they basically just eat grass. Now I'm going to go ahead and talk to you guys about how we train our hippos. That's the next thing that we do with them. And what that is what we're going to train them with is what's called target pulls. Now targeting is a fancy way of saying you're asking them to touch a body part to another type of object. Now basically what we're going to ask them to do is touch their face on the other side of the glass of these target poles. Now the reason while training, especially target training, is so important is because it allows you to take better care of your animals. It allows you to get a closer view of them to make sure they're nice and healthy. It also gives them exercise. It makes them move in different positions that they may not already do. It makes them do extra work. It also stimulates their mind, makes them think. Basically brings them back to work/school, whatever you want to call it. But it actually makes them work and think about what they're doing. And lastly, with target training with large animals is very important because it allows you to move a 5,000-pound animal somewhere where you might want them to move, because you cannot make a 5,000-pound animal move if it doesn't want to. So you can nicely ask the target poles. You may get them to move, you may not, but more likely than trying to push and shove. It doesn't really work. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to need one volunteer to help me. I'm going to go with kids first. Alright buddy, come on down here. You're going to help me with Uma, and I'm going to work with Tumbo, okay? But first I'm going to let Sid know that we're going to start training so he can stop feeding them. So I want you just to hold on to that for a minute. Alright, go ahead and stop feeding. We're going to start training. Alright, now I'm going to work with Tumbo first because he tends to get very impatient, and when you don't work with him, he decides to leave. So more likely for him to stay if you actually work with him first. Alright, so Tumbo, we're going to get you, I'm going to work with Tumbo first, okay? We're going to wait for him to turn around so you can see what we're doing. And I want him mainly to stay at this window because if he goes to this window and works, he likes to mess with Uma, and Uma hates it. She gets very agitated and frustrated and wants to not be very happy. So with these target poles, you could actually use other target poles or any other type of object. We actually choose these because they're nice and big. You could actually use your fist or some other type of object. Not with obviously hippos you would use your fist, but with other animals you potentially could, like sea lions or something like that. Now Tumbo is deciding to float back there, so we might just, he's coming forward. Or he is going to mess with Uma. Don't pick on her. Tumbo, come over here and work. Now we actually have these target poles in different colors, as you may notice. There is no information known about hippos, whether they actually can see in color, but the reason why we put these in color so that way they're in different shades and also in different shapes, so it helps them determine whose target belongs to who, and a little bit easier to see. But we actually just put them mainly in color for our purposes. Go ahead and reinforce Tumbo in the left window. Alright, so I'm going to have you move him all the way over here. So go ahead and show her target. We got to wait now until she decides. This is the fun game that they tend to do every now and then. They look at the other one and they're like, oh, their head's up and they're getting food. Maybe something magically will fall from the sky and land in my mouth even though I didn't do anything. Alright, come on up. What's your name? Ooh, Marlo? Alright, come on over here. I'm going to have borrow your step. You're fine, you can stay there. He's just going to come step right up there so that way he has some movement. And then you're going to come and put yours up and over the railing. Okay, you got to let go. Let go for a second. There you go, let it slide down. There you go. Now hold it up against the glass with both hands. It's heavy. You can also go like this. There you go. Now hold it there and she'll come over there and place her entire face on the other side of that target. Now we do want her to have her entire face on that target and hold it there for a few seconds, and then we'll remove the target and then she'll get reinforced. So she's got to have her entire face on it. Go ahead and reinforce Uma in the right window. You can take your target down. And you can come hang out here in the middle again. I'm going to try Tumbo before he decides to leave. Now with training, it is all voluntary. If they don't want to participate, they don't have to. Like I said earlier, you cannot make a 5,000-pound animal do something they don't want to do. So basically, you can just ask them to do it. And if they choose to participate, that's great. Then they get extra reinforcement for doing that. Usually extra food. If they decide not to, they will still get fed, but they won't get extra stuff. They'll just get fed a little bit later on in the afternoon or at a different time, so they don't associate, I didn't do work, I still get food. Apparently he's into pestering Uma instead of working. See him creeping up on her? Apparently he's wanting to mess with her a little bit. All right, go ahead and put your target pole up here in the middle. We'll make her come over here and push him out of the way. There you go, just above the water line, that's perfect. She's gonna go ahead and push him out of the way. Now it does take them a little bit of time to get to their targets because if you think about it, it's a lot of weight to move around and it takes a little bit of time to float around and move that weight. So you just have to be patient while they're training. Hold it there, you're doing a good job. Go ahead and reinforce in the middle window. There you go, you can take yours down. Very good. I'm gonna see if Tumbo is gonna come over here then. Tumbo, you wanna come over here? This is very strange for Tumbo to come all the way over here. Normally he stays at that first window or he doesn't participate at all. So it's different that he's actually over here. So I'm gonna see if I can get him to actually move to me. No? He's like, no, I'm just floating around, I'm checking out Uma, making sure she's behaving and keeping her in line, basically all that type of sort of stuff. You gonna maybe? Look. No, you're not interested? It's not into working. Okay, well let's move Uma to that first window. So put your target pole up and we'll walk over this way. Hold on. Just checking out what Tumbo's doing, making sure he's not coming too close. All right, come on over here, bud. You can stand anywhere here and put your target pole just above the water again. There we go. Apparently Uma's gonna go all over the exhibit today and Tumbo's gonna just watch her underwater. You bring your target pole down just a little bit, just above the water. There you go, right there. Otherwise she's not quite that tall to reach that. Hold on, we're gonna wait for her to get her entire face on that target pole. Now we don't let her get away with doing half targets or partial targets because she knows exactly what we're asking her to do. If we let her get away with the random small targets that she does every now and then she's gonna keep doing them. She's gonna play games and she's gonna be like, oh well, I can do half the work and still get food. We want her to do the whole thing, do the behavior correctly. She's getting frustrated. Look, he's right behind her. She's bobbing her head up and down. She's mad that he's right behind her. So I can't reinforce that because one, she didn't do it correctly and she's all frustrated and mad at him. We don't want to reinforce frustration or madness or anything like that. That's not appropriate behavior. We want them to be nice and calm and collect when they do this. I don't know why Tumbo is bothering you today. He hasn't bothered her like this in a while, but apparently he doesn't want to leave her alone. She's trying really hard to work. Go ahead and reinforce in the right window. Go ahead and take it down. And you can jackpot her for that one, and we are done training. I repeat, we are done training. Alright, I want to thank my volunteer. He did a great job. You guys can give him and Uma a round of applause. You can go ahead and have a seat. Now the reason why I ended on that last target is because if you notice, she got really frustrated because Tumbo was behind her. And she kind of got herself nice and calm and collect and just was like, okay, I gotta do this. This is what they want. I'm not gonna get any food unless I do this. So that's why I ended there. She realized she needed to change her behavior. She changed it. And also, Tumbo is not leaving her alone. If I push my luck and I try for another one, he may get her really frustrated and really upset, and then we're not going to have a good session. You want to end out on a positive note as much as possible, so then it remains where they're going to want to continue to do these behaviors for us. If you leave on a negative note, more likely maybe tomorrow she's like, I'm not doing it. Last time I had to deal with Tumbo, he made me mad. I don't want to be mad. You know, you never know with their attitude, so you want to end as positively as you can. And since she changed her attitude, I wanted to end on that one. So we are done with the training portion of our Hippo Keeper Connection. It's not the end of it because I'm going to tell you some more information about our hippos and answer any questions you guys may have. But that is the end of our training portion with our Hippo Keeper Connection. So if you do decide to leave, I want to thank you guys very much for coming to watch the training portion of our Hippo Keeper Connection. Some more fun facts about hippos is people ask us all the time, do they eat the fish that are on exhibit with them? Like I said earlier, they are herbivores. That means they do not eat any type of meat. So they do not eat the fish at all. Basically what the fish are there for is because they have what's called a symbiotic relationship with the hippos and the fish. Now basically what that means is they actually work together. The fish get something from the hippos and the hippos get something from the fish. The fish actually will clean the teeth and the gums of the hippos, so after they're done eating, they'll generally open their mouth and the fish will go in there and clean their teeth and gums. And then they will also clean any algae or parasites off their skin, so it's basically like their own dermatologist slash massage therapist. And then the fish also will help out the keepers as much as possible by eating as much hippo feces as they possibly can. So these fish do quite a bit of work for the hippos and for the keepers. Another cool fact about hippos is they can actually hold their breath up to 30 minutes, but they're generally going to come up to breathe about every 3 to 5